Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. As we all know that the chronic venous disease and the great saphenous vein reflux is a common circulatory disorder that impacts the quality of life. And in bone vein study, it was estimated that 21% of adult population has chronic venous disease. In other study, reach up to 60% of adult population, especially in developed world. In the past 2 decades, the treatments such as endovenous laser ablation, radiofrequency, and ultrasonography-guided foam sclerotherapy become popular due to their low complication rates, costs, and shorter recovery times. Several guidelines advocate endovenous thermal ablation with laser or radiofrequency as first line of treatment, followed by ultrasound-guided foam sclerotherapy, and high ligation stripping as a third option. In cases that require treatment of both great saphenous vein reflux and varicosities, many surgeons postpone the ultrasound-guided foam sclerotherapy as a second step to be performed weeks after main axial thermal ablation. This traditional approach requires more resources, repeated medical visits, and more time consuming. For thermal ablation, we have this recent meta-analysis study involved 28 randomized controlled studies with 2,829 great saphenous vein ablation. They found that endovenous laser ablation either by 810 or 980 in comparison to 1,047 and 1,920 are the same in the efficacy with no significant difference between both groups. In this analysis, the endovenous laser ablation was up to 92%. For the radiofrequency, the most common used now radiofrequency machine, this one you targeting vein segment 7 centimeter at temperature of 120 degrees centigrade. In multi-center European cohort study, including 295 limbs, great saphenous vein occlusion rate was 92%, with improved in vascular clinical severity scoring system. In VARICO-2 study, comparing radiofrequency ablation with endovenous laser ablation 1,470 radial tip, the occlusion rate was almost the same in both. For foam sclerotherapy, its efficacy for occluding the great saphenous vein or main trunk occlusion is far less than the thermal ablation. In this randomized controlled study, anatomical success, great saphenous vein occlusion or absence, according to duplex ultrasound, was 64%, 76%, 34% after EVLA, after laser and surgery and foam sclerotherapy. The same result in the other study, and in this study confirming the radiofrequency ablation with laser and surgery, after 3 years follow-up, they found the failure rate is higher with ultrasound-guided foam sclerotherapy for use alone for great saphenous vein ablation. What about the guidelines? This is the most recent guidelines from the European guidelines 2022. For patients with great saphenous vein incompetence requiring treatment, endovenous thermal ablation is recommended as first choice treatment in preference to high ligation and ultrasound guided. For patients with superficial venous incompetence presenting with symptomatic varicose veins, SEEB clinical case class C2, intervention treatment is recommended. For patients with superficial venous incompetence undergoing treatment using endovenous techniques with or without phlebectomies, procedure should be performed at outpatient setting, which is not always feasible for the case of phlebectomies. For patients with saphenous trunk incompetence undergoing treatment, ultrasound-guided foam sclerotherapy may be considered for treating saphenous trunks with diameter less than 6 millimeter. For patients with superficial venous incompetence treated with foam sclerotherapy, the procedure should be performed under ultrasound guidance, of course. For the literature, many research in the literature supporting our technique for combined endothermal ablation with foam sclerotherapy. This study from Colombia, published 2021, they concluded that combined therapy effectiveness and safety are comparable with other endovenous treatments for chronic venous diseases with great saphenous reflux. The use of both thermal and chemical ablation combines the benefit of both techniques. And for this study from China, also the same, comparing the two types of laser, they show efficacy in both types of laser with shorter hospital stay and shorter recovery time for the high frequency laser. For the radiofrequency ablation, this study concluded that exclusively outpatient combined technique were safe and feasible in this study, even with large-sized veins more than 8 millimeter. And here in Egypt, we have this study from Al-Azhar University, published 2022, concluded that endovenous laser ablation and the concomitant foam sclerotherapy is feasible, effective. The procedure are associated with no complications and can be performed both legs in the same setting. We in our university, in Zagreb University, we did this study in 2018. We did combined radiofrequency ablation with truncal foam sclerotherapy. We have a very good occlusion rate in both groups. The group who did endovenous ablation was just perforator injection sclerotherapy, and the other group with truncal ablation by foam sclerotherapy. We have in this Kaplan-Meier graph, the need for intervention after the operation was much more less in the truncal ablation of foam sclerotherapy. And also the recurrence rate was little better than the other group for the groups with long saphenous or great saphenous ablation by sclerotherapy. So how can we do this? The combined endothermal ablation and the ultrasound guided foam sclerotherapy. First, we have to do duplex ultrasound for the patient to record the reflux. Reflux was assessed by looking for retrograde flow after Valsalva maneuver or curve augmentation. Reflux was defined that flow lasting at last half seconds. The source of the level and the venous reflux are sonographically distributed varicose veins were all recorded like these cases. We have to measure the size of the vein we are treating. We have to test the incompetence at the saphenofemoral and saphenopopliteal junctions, and we have to mark the patient in clear way.
Just 1 minute, please.
Okay, sir. Vein ablation steps, I'll go through this quickly. For endovenous laser ablation, we use 1,470 nanometer. We are aiming to deliver 60 to 100 joule per square centimeter, and with pullback speed, steady speed for occluding all the vein. For the radio frequency, we are using the Trendelenburg position with 7-segment occlusion at 20-second cycle. This is how we access. We can ablate bilateral limbs in the same setting. We put the tip of the catheter about 1.5 centimeter or 2 centimeter from saphenofemoral junction. We inject tumescent anesthesia around the great saphenous vein in saphenous compartment. For the foam sclerotherapy, we are using ultrasound. We are using polydecanol 1 to 3% by tessary method, preparing the polydecanol by mixing with air, 1 centimeter for 4 centimeter air. This is how we use it, or how we prepare it. This is the amount of the polydecanol we are using in the great saphenous vein according to its size and all the other veins. And this is the maximum amount of polydecanol we can inject in each vein. According to the European guidelines, no fixed number for the maximum dose, but we stick for 10 millimeter of foam per session. These some tips for injecting. The beveling of the needle should be down ultrasound guided. We can use butterfly or can use direct the cannula in the vein. This is one of our cases with both the injection foam sclerotherapy in the distal great saphenous vein and laser for the upper truncal vein. Sometimes we are using the foam through the catheter itself, either radiofrequency or the laser ablation. Can I have 1 minute only to see the cases, please? Only 1 minute? Please, only 1 minute.
Okay, please.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
This is before and after foam sclerotherapy. After treatment, we stick the patient to elastic compression for 2 days, and then the class 2 compression for 3 days continuously, and then for 1 month, stocking application. This is duplex ultrasound follow-up after pre-treatment, second week, 1 month, 3 months, and 6 months after operation. This is our case, first case, how we attack. This is the second case, combined laser ablation with foam sclerotherapy. This is post-operative. And even also in venous ulcer cases, and this is after laser ablation and injection sclerotherapy around the ulcer. And this is another case with laser ablation and foam sclerotherapy of the varicose veins. Thank you very much.